what was it like coming up and training as a young goalie in those ages, I guess? Like, what did you do? What like you just show up to practice and games and just go net, or did you have to do any other things? Was there road hockey involved?
Yeah, it was a lot different than it is now. Obviously, being older and more mature, you kind of need to focus on it more and stuff like that. But growing up, um, in the Fuca, we usually have like like a goalie coach. Jason Reimer was the goalie coach for the association, and he would run, I think a goalie session every week or every 2 weeks or something like that, where all the goalies from like say Pee Wee, so all the goalies in Pee Wee level would come out, and he would run drills and stuff like that. So and sometimes he would come to our practice probably like once a month and stuff like that. So other than that time, there wasn't really too much. Obviously, we're still young and stuff like that, and it is minor hockey, so it's different. But pretty much, just take advantage of that time you do get with the coach, and then other than that, it's just practicing with the team.
I mean, were you buddies with the other goalie? I mean, it's so funny. We talked about, how you always have to pay your dues and then play a goalie, but you're even talking about, that goalie was full time. You probably just loved it right from young, and then you step in from that D position to goalie. That's pretty funny at such a young age, but you must have fell in love with it all the way up in that position. What's it like, I guess, as a junior hockey player to balance schooling? You're obviously graduated now, but playing in the WHL, or even in the academy, Delta Academy, going to school and playing hockey. What could you share with the younger players, parents, and coaches?
Yeah, it's definitely, it's not the easiest thing. Obviously, playing in the Western League, our schedule gets pretty hectic and stuff like that. And I think in my first semester I missed like 50 classes of each class. So obviously there's a lot of, catching up and stuff you got to do. I think it's important to communicate with your teachers. I had some awesome teachers who helped me out a lot and, tried to get me some work ahead so I could do it on a road trip and stuff like that. But um, I think it's really important to stay on top of it and, just do the work. As soon as you fall behind, then you kind of start stressing out and stuff like that. And, that can impact your hockey too. So, if you stay on top of it and do the work, um, things are kind of smooth sailing. And, like I said, it's obviously not easy missing the amount of classes you do in the Western League, but, um, it's important just to do the work, go there, pay attention and, get your stuff done. So then you can go play hockey. And, that's kind of the big thing that I implemented, and I think it helped me have success.
Yeah, exactly. This is why I do this now. Is I wish I was able to have access to these videos and listen to play junior players like yourself and pros and old coaches and stuff. But I have the opportunity right now to talk with the 2019-2020 Scholastic Player of the Year. So we might as well keep asking questions. But it's like, what adversity did you come across in those years in school? I guess like there must have been something like, sometimes like, oh, we got a test, and then you have to miss the test because you have practice that time, or you're on a road trip. Like, how, maybe, I think players, parents, and coaches will like to hear some of that stuff about how it plays out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think, that's just kind of the point where you got to do a little bit extra work than, all your other classmates, where you have to go talk to the teacher and arrange to either do the test earlier or later and stuff like that. And, it's on you to study and be prepared maybe a couple days earlier than, the rest of your classmates and stuff like that. But at the same time, like I'd be willing to do that any day just so I can go play hockey. Like it's a pretty fair trade off to me. So, it's not too challenging to kind of do that. And, um, like I said, staying on top of it and, that's a component of it is really important and, something that you need to do, or else, you're going to fall behind pretty quick.
Yeah. And being a former player for myself, I found it's like why I'm listening to you, and there's tons of respect there, right? Is I found to have troubles with staying on top of it. And just kind of, I think at those ages there are some kids kind of get a little lazy, or you're like, oh, why would I want to do that right now? It's just not on their mind, right? It just wasn't as important or a priority. But you've just had, like, from your younger days, has school just been really important thing to you? Or like how did that also play? Like how you're, I feel like there's a lot, like you think much more mature and maybe even ahead of a lot of student athletes, I guess you'd call them.
Yeah, I would say like growing up, I always just wanted to have the best grades. Like I was pretty competitive, even just with myself, I just wanted to have high grades and stuff like that. And, you know, it kind of boosts your confidence too, like in all aspects if, you're doing well in school and stuff like that. And um, but yeah, it's something I always kind of had high standards for and, just wanted to get the best grades possible, even though, 100% are hard to get. I was kind of I
Yeah.
tried to get as close as I could. So, that's just kind of always been my approach, and something that I've always wanted to do good at. And I know it's important for way down the road if I need to use my education and stuff like that. That it's important to have good grades and learn while you're in school.
Yeah. And I'm sure lots of influences, including your parents, were in on that. Do you have like siblings that helped you, or uncles and aunts that did this, or was it just, obviously parental, and then you just influenced yourself and focused on that?
Yeah, I think my parents always pushed me just to have do the best I can, and it kind of was just self influence, like you said, to try to have the best grades that I possibly could is kind of something that I wanted to do myself. So